month of December, finishing season strong. And the Ravens at 8-5, coming in a convincing 31-13 victory over Cincinnati last week. And Bill Callahan, a dream season a year ago, and everything is fallen apart this year. A disastrous year, a 27-7 loss in Pittsburgh last week. They were outgained 399 total yards for the Steelers compared to 161 for Oakland. Ravens have won the toss. Kowski kicks it off. Lamont Brightful, the deep man. And here's Brightful on the return. Leaves his feet out across the 20-yard line, and Baltimore will start off at the 21. Ronald Curry makes the play on special teams. Starting lineups for the Baltimore Ravens. Anthony Wright, he is 3-1 as a starter since Kyle Bowler was injured. Bowler is active today. He's the number 3 QB. Jonathan Ogden anchors that offensive line. They've done an excellent job protecting Wright, even though Wright has fumbled the football in recent weeks. Backs and receivers, Todd Heap. Bill Callahan said Todd Heap is the best tight end in the NFL in traffic. That is a player that they are keying in on here today. A 1st and 10 and a double tight end set. That's what Baltimore often opens up in. And they'll run it. Jamal Lewis, 180 yards last week, limited to no gain on 1st down as Eric Barton, linebacker, was able to sniff it out. It leads us to the Oakland defense. Excellent season for Tyler Brayton, the rookie out of Colorado, 1st-round pick on that defensive line. Linebackers, Tim Johnson is in the middle. He was cut by the Ravens back in 2001. And in the secondary, Derek Gibson had an interception last week in that loss to Pittsburgh. Raiders interaction 3-3 at home this year. They are winless on the road. Here's Wright to throw. Under some pressure, cannot make the connection to Todd Heap. On a crossing pattern, Harris applied some pressure on Wright.
That's what you have to do. First of all, they have to establish the offensive line. Cannot allow Baltimore to really control the line of scrimmage with that big offensive line they have.
A 3-receiver set on a 3rd and 10 from the 21. Right short drop. Throw. And it's intercepted. Picked off by Phillip Buchanan. Buchanan looking to take it the distance. Comes up short of the goal line. But a huge offensive play on the first series of the day. 29-yard return for Buchanan and his 6th pick of the season.
Oh, he's trying to get it over to his receiver. It'll be Frank Sanders coming in on the slant route over on the right side. Buchanan jumps the route. This ball is overthrown out in front of Sanders. And Wright has struggled early in the ball games over the last 3 weeks with his accuracy. And you see Sanders stumbles coming out of the break. And so he's not able to get to the intercept point and be able to catch the football. And Buchanan did an excellent job of playing the ball in the air, showed excellent hands to make the interception.
Raiders take over with a 1st and goal inside the 1. Handoff, Zach Crockett. He's been Mr. Touchdown for Oakland, and he scores. Just like that, off the turnover, Buchanan the pick. And 1 play later, Crockett takes it in for the touchdown.
Oh, if you're Brian Billick, this you did not want to happen. The early turnovers. Turnovers are the great equalizer. If you have an advantage in a football game, you begin to turn it over early and you're on the road. It's going to be tough to win a football game.
Janikowski, the extra point. 1 play for the Oakland Raiders, and they cash in. The punter Leckler holds, and Oakland with a 7-0 lead. Buchanan picks off Anthony Wright and sets up the Raiders offense for the score. Interception of the season. Broken wrist as a rookie last year, but the speed and quickness excites the Raiders down the road if they can keep Charles Woodson on this team. A good pair of corners. Brightful on the return. Up the middle. And Brightful is stood up shy of the 25-yard line. Alvis Whitted makes the play on special teams.
In here, but Buchanan is going to jump it because the ball is too far inside. And watch Sanders. He'll stumble coming out of the break, and that will throw off the timing of the route. I think the pass is overthrown by Anthony Wright. An inaccurate pass can lead to an easy interception for the defense, and Buchanan takes advantage of it.
But now Baltimore takes over with a 1st and 10 at their own 25. After the turnover cost them points. Handoff. Jamal Lewis trying to cut to the outside. He turns the corner. And Lewis able to power his way out near the 30. Charles Woodson forcing him out of bounds. A 5-yard gain. Big Rogers Beckett. Tack on another turnover to the ledger of Wright as Todd Heap sets up as a receiver out to the near side. 2nd and 5. And up the gut. And Lewis spins his way for a gain of 2. Cooper and Bromell combined to bring him down.
Well, Anthony Wright does have to settle down. He's played well late in games. It allowed them 3 weeks ago early in ball games. And it really is about establishing your rhythm and your timing at the beginning of the football game.
Now a 3rd and 3 for the Ravens. Heap the motion man. Stacking the line, Oakland. Wright has the protection, lets it fly, and connects to Todd Heap for a 1st down at the 40. So they move the chains with an 8-yard pickup. Derek Gibson, the strong safety, makes the play.
This is good, but on that crossing route where he showed speed and good hands, it's going to take an accurate throw from Anthony Wright.
His 5th reception of the season. Fake the handoff on the rollout. Wright throwing, loops one too high and out of bounds. Heap the intended target out on the perimeter. And Wright is now 1 of 4 throwing the football with that interception on their first possession.
Well, it's a good job. They're trying to move him out of the pocket. It was just a rollout. I think he has to cut this one loose much sooner because Heap was open early, but as he got close to the sideline, then the coverage showed up, forcing Wright to throw the ball out.
Anthony Wright in that #1 role. Kyle Bowler has completed his treatment. Bowler missed a month with a torn left quadricep and returned to practice this week. Handoff. It's Lewis. Shot out of a cannon. Lewis into Oakland territory. And another 1st down as Flynn and Anderson on that line applied some extra room.
Well, watch 92. Terdale Sands. He'll come and look at the penetration there, but Lewis is still able to make him miss to the 2nd level. That's just an exceptional play that time by Jamal Lewis because Sands was in the backfield and on top of him. He still was able to make him miss, even though he wasn't blocked well by Edwin Mulatalo.
Jamal Lewis needs to average 126 yards in the last 3 games for a 2,000-yard season. Last running back to do it, Terrell Davis with Denver back in '98. Right short drop and a quick throw. Acrobatic play by Travis Taylor. He holds on to the football, and this drive continues. A 13-yard gain. 1st down, Baltimore.
Ryan Billick rolling the dice once again on that slant route. It's a very small window to get this ball into in between the cornerback and the linebacker. Look at the hit by Napoleon Harris, but Taylor's able to come away with the interception. And I think that's what Anthony Wright brings to this offense. We know they can run the ball behind this big offensive line and Jamal Lewis, but to be able to complete passes like that, it really opens up the offense.
Taylor had 2 catches last week, 77 yards against Cincinnati. On the give, Lewis hit that hole and pick up 6 on 1st down. Eric Barton, first man there for the Oakland Raiders. After contact, Jamal Lewis can do so much damage.
100 yards rushing coming into today's game, leading the entire National Football League.
And a 2nd and 4 now for the Ravens. They'll give it to Lewis again. Finds a lane, and Lewis again grinding out yardage after initial contact. Terry Jones, the tight end, with a key block to spring him loose for 8.
And you make the point. Watch after contact what he's able to do because he breaks tackles. See, there's contact. Okay, now 1, 2, 3. You're going to get another 5 yards after initial contact. He runs similar to what we saw Jim Brown do years ago. Very strong at the point of attack. Really makes the offensive line. They work hard for him, but he gets it done. Get a lot done all on his own.
He'll get a breather. 35 rushing yards on this drive for Lewis. This time it's Chester Taylor coming in, and Taylor stumbles his way out across the 15-yard line for a 5-yard gain. Bromell making the tackle for the Raiders.
And last week we saw Jamal Lewis put the ball on the ground. He fumbled in that game and has fumbled at times, and have to wonder if some of these Raiders aren't trying to pry that ball loose early in this game.
10th play of the drive. Baltimore answering after Oakland took it in from 1 yard out. Ravens in the red zone this year, and that's where they find themselves right now. The give is to Lewis, and the Raiders were ready on the 3-yard gain Tyler Brayton, the rookie who's got some speed for a defensive end, able to play that one perfectly.
So much has been said about the drop-off in play with the Raiders coming into this year and how much it's been a disappointment, but Tyler Brayton has not disappointed. Only 1.5 sacks, but he's very consistent, and he is one of the only guys on that defensive line in terms of their starters who's played every game for Bill Callahan. Bill Callahan said that Tyler Brayton, he's going to be one of the emerging leaders on this football team as they move into the future.
Double tight end set on a 2 for the Ravens. Wright fakes the handoff. In trouble and thrown down. Charles Woodson did not bite on the fake. Eric Barton, the second man there, and a loss of 2.
I'm not sure if Wright would not have been better off giving the ball over to Lewis. And there you go. They're on the handoff. He keeps it. There are more Raiders, more black jerseys than there are white jerseys. So not enough to block it up as Harris is in position. And so is Charles and other Raiders as they swarm to make the play.
He was out of the pocket, so it will not go down as a sack. A loss of 2 on the run and a 32-yard attempt. Matt Stover, 20th straight field goal for the veteran kicker, and he puts Baltimore on the board here in the first. 7-3, Oakland. After Wright was picked off by Philip Buchanan, setting up a 1-yard touchdown for Zach Crockett. Wade Ritchie on the kickoff, Doug Gabriel, the deep man. And here's Gabriel on the return. Gabriel cutting to the outside, and he's got speed. Gabriel down the sideline and spun down, saving a touchdown. Raymond Walls.
Doug Gabriel does have speed, and lucky for the Ravens, Raymond Walls does also. He hits the wall, and it is a gaping hole down the middle of the field as he takes it to the sideline. I thought he was going to be able to score. Raymond Walls saves the day. He kicked it into overdrive and was able to haul down Gabriel to make the tackle.
Gabriel, the rookie from Central Florida, 5th-round pick, the longest kick return of his young career, 71 yards. And some big plays early on from the defense and now on special teams for the 3-10 Oakland Raiders. Sets up the offense with a 1st and 10 at the 19. Tyrone Wheatley in the backfield. Rick Meyer takes the snap. Steps up, Meyer looking for it all. Corner of the end zone. And Tim Brown could not catch up to the pass. Incomplete. Offensively for the Oakland Raiders, Meyer not 100%, a sprained left ankle, but x-rays came back negative. A hit by Kimo von Oelhoffen last week. Offensive line changes. Barrett Robbins, knee injury. Adam True steps in. Badger moves to the right side. Middleton steps forward on the left side because of the knee injury to Mo Collins. And backs and receivers, Tyrone Wheatley. Not normally the featured back. Charlie Garner is so versatile, but Garner did not practice this week because of a death in the family. On 2nd and 10. And here's Wheatley running into the line for no gain, and just about every defensive lineman involved for Baltimore. For the Ravens defensively, they come in ranked number 4. Marcus Douglas in the secondary. They will stick with Gary Baxter at the corner. That means Fuller will see action in the nickel and dime situation. 3rd and 10. Jerry Porter, the 3rd receiver. Meyer slings it. Incomplete. And looking for Jerry Rice on a post.
Well, the Raiders get excellent field position on their first 2 possessions of the ball game. They were able to score the touchdown off the interception by Philip Buchanan. And then they get good field position after the return by Gabriel. Can't get the touchdown, but they're in position to get the field goal. To get 10 points early in the first quarter really is getting off to a good start for the Oakland Raiders.
Janikowski, 20 of 21 field goals inside 50 yards. That one from 37 yards away. Gabriel sets up the score for Oakland. Starting back in 1970 in the NFL at 3-10, but we got the 10-3 lead here in the first quarter. Janikowski kicking it off. Chester Taylor, who actually returned the last kickoff for Baltimore, gets another crack here. Taylor unable to break to the clear and had a chance at it as he crosses the 35 to the 30. Kerry Scott got him down low. Anthony Wright will direct this Baltimore offense when we come back to Oakland. 6:48 to go in the first quarter. And even though Oakland leads on the scoreboard, they have 1 yard of offense. That's it. There isn't always a cause and effect as they come on a blitz. Ravens handle it. Wright throws on an out pattern, and he makes the connection to Travis Taylor. Strong throw on first down at 9 yards.
Yeah, they go away from the tendency. Of course, 1st and 10, you expect them to run the ball with Jamal Lewis. Everything that happens starts with him, but Billick deciding to throw the ball on first down. They pick up the blitz, whip it to the outside, able to make the completion over to Travis Taylor. So Anthony Wright, that's the flexibility that he brings to this offense, and that's why they're operating at such a high level over the last 3 weeks.
A 3-receiver set. It's Chester Taylor in on 2nd and 1, and he'll get the first down. Taylor with steam carries just short of midfield. Harris and Bromell combined to bring him down.
Pass the ball out of the backfield and run it, but Jamal Lewis has the best number. So right now, he's the best back in the National Football League.
And after his 5-touchdown performance last week, Clinton Portis is beginning to get mentioned in that same category. Handoff, it's Lewis. Takes the slightest of holes and turns it into a positive 3-yard gain. Tyler Brayton again making the tackle.
You know, but if you're in Denver and you've had so many guys that rush for over 1,000 yards, no matter what season it is, I think the one constant is that offensive line and their blocking scheme. You know, James Stewart, he was with Jacksonville. He scored 5 touchdowns in a game, and I don't think we ever said that he was the best back in the league. And it really is a tough one to determine, because all the backs that you saw listed on that list are very good and very capable.
The argument seems to change every week depending upon what individual performances you see. Wright under some heat. Tuck and run for Wright. And he gets walloped. The helmet flies after the gain of 5. Tim Johnson in on that stop for Oakland.
And now
come up on 4 minutes to go in an action-packed first quarter here from Oakland. On 3rd down, Wright wants to throw it. Incomplete. He threw it to a spot. Travis Taylor was not there. Coverage from Philip Buchanan.
Wright has to put the ball in an area where Travis Taylor can make a play on it. It is somewhat slippery down there because we did have rain overnight. Throws this ball behind Travis Taylor, forcing him to try to stop and come back to the ball and see if Heap and Taylor can make a play on the ball. That time he failed to do so.
Dave Zastudil, the punter. Here's Buchanan, fair catch. Called for, and he brings it in. Just short of the 11-yard line, a 31-yard punt. Rick Meyer will get another crack at this Baltimore defense.
Been able to manufacture points even though they haven't had many productive plays.
Double tight end set up here on a first down from the 10-yard line. And the play is whistled dead. Our first penalty of the afternoon. Ed Hockley, the veteran referee.
Before the ball was snapped, false start, offense number 80. 10-yard penalty, it's still first down.
Rice only 1 100-yard receiving day this season. It happened against San Diego. 7 catches, 118 yards. Draw play. Tyrone Wheatley. And not much room to work with. Kelly Gregg in on the stop. A 2-yard gain for Wheatley.
Calling Buddy Lee, Kelly Gregg. He's one of those guys who's really an unsung, just a wonderful player out of Oklahoma.
Another one of those graduates from NFL Europe, took advantage of an opportunity and now playing a primetime role on a primetime defense. Meyer, short drop, quick throw to Tim Brown. And Brown falls forward across the 15-yard line for a 10-yard hookup. Gary Baxter in on coverage. They're still short of a first down.
Well, they go empty on this set. No one in the backfield. And you know they're going to come over here to the 3 side. And they're just going to work the slot as Rick Meyer is going to drop back and throw the football. He's just looking for the open guy. Soft spot in the zone. And that's where they find room to operate. Just an easy throw for Rick Meyer.
And a 3rd and 3 for Oakland. Garner checks in for the Raiders. On the slant, it's Rice. First down, Oakland. Jerry Rice has a catch in an NFL record 270 consecutive games as McKinnon makes the play. 10-yard pickup.
Jerry Rice, 270th game, consecutive game where he's had a reception. NFL record. So productive over the course of his career, able to make plays even at the age of 41. Still productive.
I'm not sure you're going to get a receiver that plays in 270 consecutive games, let alone makes a catch in one. Here's Meyer, flushed out of the pocket, going on the run. Dangerous pass, but it's complete to Tim Brown. Raiders are moving the football out across the 40. 15 yards on the pass and catch.
And Rick Meyer is becoming comfortable in this game. He told us, hey, when I play, I like to use the play action. I like to roll out, and this is what he's going to do. Comes over to his right side. See, when he can get out of the pocket, he has better vision, much easier opportunity to complete this pass to Tim Brown, who was able to make an adjustment on the ball.
We've got two QBs that went from 3 to 1 on the depth chart. And it didn't take much time for it to happen as Garner carries for a 4-yard pickup through the middle. Marcus Douglas in on the stop. For Meyer,
you're not going to get many snaps in Green Bay and Jeff Garcia in San Francisco.
And Gannon, of course, here, the MVP of the league last season. 2nd and 6. Play fake. Meyer slings it. Incomplete. Doug Jolly was the target on the far side. And he had his tight end open.
Yeah, this is when Rick Meyer struggled. I think when he's standing in the pocket, there was no pressure there. He had Doug Jolly wide open, and he doesn't follow through all the time and throw off that front leg. And here's Porter working at the top of your screen. He's against McAllister, and he may have been able to get free up top. But certainly Meyer's going to have to settle down and complete those passes when he's standing in the pocket.
Now, Bill Callahan told us we're not asking Meyer to do the things that Rich Gannon does in this offense. They've changed it a bit. Juggle by Garner, and it's incomplete. Charlie Garner, an excellent receiver out of the backfield. In fact, one of the best in the NFL in terms of the running back position, but he couldn't haul it in.
Yeah, Garner should make this catch, but see, he has to make an adjustment because the ball is thrown behind him. See, he tries to come back to the ball, and he has it momentarily. But had Meyer just...
Lewis had coverage. Shane Leckler is punting. And Lamont Brightful returns to the field. High punt. Leckler has it rolled to the end zone. A touchback. 54 yards, but a net of 34 for the leading punter with a 47-yard punting average. Up 3. Brown and Rice getting involved early. Unlike a week ago where Oakland was able to run the football in the first half against Pittsburgh and then couldn't establish it in the second half. And off, it's Lewis running into a crowd. Eric Barton, first man there. And a 1-yard gain for Jamal Lewis.
Well, it's going to be difficult if Baltimore cannot manufacture yards by running the football. They come in a really strong offensive line. And, of course, the #2 rushing offense against the Oakland Raiders, who struggled to stop the run. So they're going to have to be able to get movement up front and run the football and really impose their will on this defense for the Oakland Raiders.
End of the first quarter. Raiders take advantage of a Baltimore miscue, and they lead the Ravens 10-3. After in the second quarter, welcome back to Oakland. Ian Eagle, Solomon Wilcox, the rest of our CBS crew. 10-3. The Raiders leading the Ravens with Chester Taylor now in the backfield on a 2nd and 9. White steps up and throws. Wide open. Terry Jones, the tight end. Good run after the catch as he walks a tightrope along the sideline to the 46, and it covers 5 yards. A first down for Baltimore.
So how about the Ravens? They come out throwing the ball on first down. A play where they normally would run it on first down, but Jones crosses the field, and look at Tyler Brayton in coverage. He's a defensive end. Why is he matched up against a much faster tight end? And so that's where they're able to take advantage of the mismatch. Terry Jones matched up against Tyler Brayton as he makes the play on first down.
Longest reception of the season for Jones. And a first down now for the Ravens. Wright will throw it again. Long ball down the sideline. Hauled in by Travis Taylor. Big play for this Baltimore offense inside the 15. Phillip Buchanan fell down in coverage. 41-yard hookup.
And this time Wright does put the ball where his receiver can make a play on it. Travis Taylor stays up the field. He beats Buchanan on the play, and Buchanan has done this long. He makes a play and then he gives up a big play. It's been said that he give it and take it away as he allows Travis Taylor to get deep and pick up a huge play for the Baltimore Ravens.
Ravens are driving. First minute of play in the second quarter, and a 1st and 10 from the 13. Handoff. It's Lewis. Nothing there. Jamal Lewis may be a gain of 1 depending upon where they spot the football. As
this on the road, because you can ill afford to drop a game here, the one that everyone expects to win, and then even up that race again with the Cincinnati Bengals.
On the give, Lewis shedding tacklers and then stood up at the 10 by the first-year pro from Tennessee Chattanooga, Turdell Sands, signed as a free agent from the Green Bay Packers practice squad. A 3-yard gain for Lewis. Sands is a huge man, 6'7", 335 pounds, as he rumbles to the sideline.
And I am right. Normally they do everything and it starts with Lewis, but so far in this game they've come out throwing it, allowing Anthony Wright to make some plays.
Raiders in a dime package, a 3rd and 7 for Baltimore. Wright steps up the fake pattern. Nobody home. Todd Heap has made a living off of that play this season, but Derek Gibson, the strong safety, was stride for stride with the tight end.
Look at the
28-yard attempt for Matt Stover. He is converted on 20 straight field goal attempts, and you can make it 21 as Stover splits the uprights from 28 yards away. Travis Taylor, the play along the sideline in the passing game, helping Baltimore to 3 points. There's no doubt that Billick is trusting Wright more. It just hasn't translated into big point production.
Well, they're taking shots down the field in the passing game. Something they're doing a lot more with Wright as opposed to when they had Bowler playing.
Here's Gabriel through a crowd and across the 25 to the 27-yard line. Bart Scott makes the play on special teams. Up to the minute, AFC playoff picture. New England clinched the division. Kansas City clinching the division. Indianapolis getting the win, and they clinched the playoff berth today. Baltimore still has the lead in the AFC North. Tennessee, Denver would be in if the season ended right now.
And teams like Indianapolis, as well as the Patriots and the Chiefs. I mean, no one can relax. We talk about Baltimore Ravens coming out here to Oakland, and they're in control of their destiny, but they have to continue to take care of business also.
On a 1st and 10 from the Oakland 28. Rick Meyer slings it to the sideline, and Tim Brown, who veers out of bounds. A 1st down for Oakland as they pick up 10 on the perimeter play.
And the Ravens are going to have to make some adjustments defensively. They were totally confused on that play. Tim Brown, the Ravens are going to have to make some adjustments and really get the matchups they want defensively.
Ball control, no contest right now, but Oakland looking to make something happen on this drive as Wheatley drops the ball in the breadbasket.
Things are clicking for him.
That's really never happened for him in his professional career, but sometimes you're a part of that reason as well. In Meyer's case, as they hand it off to Tyrone Wheatley. A 1-yard pickup. Ray Lewis, first man there for Baltimore, and the first time we've really called his name this afternoon. Lewis coming off another outstanding effort last week. 14 tackles and interception. Bill Callahan.
Month in November, so many big plays. 5 interceptions already this year.
9, Meyer under a rush, gets rid of it to Porter. Slides down awkwardly across midfield. Porter loses his hat, but he's got a 1st down. Chad Williams applied the pressure on Meyer and forced the quick throw.
And Meyer showing he can stand in the pocket and make plays when the pressure's on. Look at Chad Williams, comes in from the blind side, but they're able to beat Corey Fuller. Porter coming across the field, gets open as Corey Fuller was in chase. So Fuller's going to have to tighten up the coverage. You know it's a blitz. The ball has to hurry. You're going to have to tighten up the coverage on Jerry Porter.
Porter limited this year because of a double sports hernia injury that was misdiagnosed in the preseason. Meyer slings one again to Jerry Rice. And Oakland is in business, but a flag is down. Rice makes that catch at the 32. 17 yards through the air. This one's coming back.
Ineligible receiver downfield, number 73, offense. 10-yard penalty, repeat 1st down.
Frank Middleton, who was a starter, replaced by Brad Badger and back in the starting lineup because of the injury to Collins.
And there it is right there. It's Frank Middleton over on the left side. See, watch him come out. See, what is he doing? He's up the field. You can't release from the line of scrimmage on a pass play.
Yeah, it's a screen pattern for Middleton. You didn't see the playbook?
So he thought. That
Well, Callahan told us the pivotal core leadership on injured reserve, that has been the main reason for the team's lack of success. Airs it out. Oh, what a grab by Rice. He was out of bounds. Chris McAllister, the coverage.
If it was a great grab by Rice, it was even better coverage by Chris McAllister. He's locked up against Rice, and he played it perfectly because he forced Rice to go out of bounds when he made the catch. He had great position, got his head around, and played the football. And this is textbook coverage. See how he turns around and he shields him, even though he makes the grab. Look, he's way out of bounds. And it's just textbook coverage by Chris McAllister. One of the reasons why Brian Billick said he deserves a bid for the Pro Bowl.
Now, Billick was emphatic in saying they have not faced a better corner this season. They haven't seen one better than McAllister. Too high. Meyer throwing to Doug Jolly. Incomplete.
Well, where he could have made the reception.
Meyer is now 5 of 12, 57 yards. Meyer throwing off his back foot. And it's going to be short of a first down to Charlie Garner. Ray Lewis again in on the stop. A 7-yard. Oakland forced to punt as we approach 10 minutes to go first half.
But you see what the
Lamont Brightful averaging just under 8 yards per return in the punting game as Leckler leans into it. A high punt. He gets ridiculous hang time, but this one is going to take a bounce into the end zone. A touchback. Ravens will have it from the 20 when we come back. Raiders right now with a 10-6 lead. And Baltimore takes over a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line with Lewis and Ricard in the backfield. On the pitch, Lewis hurdling and loses yardage. Derek Gibson jumping over players to get to Jamal Lewis in a loss of 3.
Well, Gibson does a good job of submarining the blocking up front, causing that ball to bounce.
And Solomon coming up. Nextel halftime report. Jim, Dan, Dion, and Boomer being one of the hottest teams in the NFL. They have lost 3 in a row on the road. One area where they haven't proven themselves yet, with an overall mark away from home of 2 and 4. 2nd and 13. Flag down. Throwing to Robinson. Nnamdi Asomugha, the rookie.
Before the ball was snapped, ball start. Offense, number 87. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
First penalty on Baltimore, and Asomugha almost had 6 points.
Oh, the Raiders are doing some things defensively to blow this game wide open, because they brought Charles Woodson on the cornerback blitz, and then Asomugha did a really good job, I think, of timing up the pass, breaking on it at the intercept point, and nearly made the play.
On a 2nd and 18. Fans are not full by any stretch of the imagination, but the fans are loud. 2nd and 18. Toss. Lewis. Nothing. Rod Coleman cut him down low. And a loss of 2 for the NFL's rushing leader.
Well, the last 2 run plays for Baltimore, they try to run and try to get outside. And the Raiders are very quick. They're fast. They can get out on the perimeter. I think you have to use the power of your offensive line and run right at this Raiders defense. Something the Pittsburgh Steelers were able to do last week when Jerome Bettis went over 100 yards rushing. Use the power of Jamal Lewis and the strength of your offensive line to knock them off the ball as opposed to run around and get on the perimeter.
This Raider defense gave up 187 yards to Tomlinson, 170 yards on the ground to Clinton Portis. And on a 3rd and 20, Baltimore uses a timeout. They're first. It's been a here on CBS. Christmas with Raymond is always an event. This year, you won't believe what he uncovers in a stockpile of unwanted presents. All new Everybody Loves Raymond, Monday on CBS. 3rd and 20 after the timeout taken by Baltimore. They'll go on the ground. Chester Taylor through the hole, but short of a down as he takes it to the 25-yard line for a 15-yard gain.
Well, that was a check with me at the line of scrimmage because the Raiders had 8 players in coverage. See how far the linebackers are? When you have only 3 guys at the line of scrimmage, you check to a run play. And that's why Taylor was able to nearly pick up the first down.
He comes up 5 yards short. And Dave Zastudil 32 yards on his first punt, with Phillip Buchanan waiting at his own 31. Zastudil Low kick. It does take a Raven roll and picked up in stride by Buchanan. He is buried from behind. He did not see John Jones on special teams after the 38-yard boot. Oakland with a 10-6 advantage, even though their team is 3-10. 10-6. Raiders lead the Ravens. 6:58 to go, first half. Wheatley is in the backfield. Meyer wants to throw it. On the toss, incomplete. Chris, the veteran fullback, could not bring it in cleanly.
We've now seen a couple of drops by the Raiders, and we've also seen Rick Meyer overthrow Raider receivers who've been wide open. So they have opportunities to complete more passes. Rushing yards, of course, Baltimore has the favor, and the passing yards also, and then total yards. But the Raiders are finding people wide open in terms of their ability to throw the football.
Empty backfield. Meyer will throw it again. It's high, but hauled in by Tim Brown. And a modest gain of 5 yards on second down. Ed Hartwell, the linebacker, in coverage with the future Hall of Famer.
And the teams who have been successful against the Baltimore Ravens defense are those teams who have been able to throw Baltimore Ravens and make plays in the passing game.
Now a 3rd and 5 for Oakland. 2 of 5 on third down conversion so far in this first half. Meyer steps up, and it's knocked down. Never even gets past the line of scrimmage. Incomplete. Terrell Suggs applying pressure with Riddick Parker and Peter Boulware. And Oakland will punt it.
I think this ball hit Brad Badger in the back. Number 70, the right guard. He's dropping back. Watch this ball.
Bang.
Right in the backside.
Well, he hit him in between the numbers, which is always good.
He did. But I'm not sure what he saw. That ball may have been tipped by one of the defensive players who were rushing Rick Meyer.
Lamont Brightful standing at his own 11-yard line. A lot of respect for the punting skills of Shane Leckler. This one ranges to the other side, takes a roll, and Brightful gets out of the way. Leckler gets it done as it rolls just short of the 10-yard line. A 49-yard punt for the Pro Bowler from 2001. Ed Hockley.
Member of the kicking team, number 83, was illegally downfield before the punt. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, 4th down.
Football in 2002, a big physical tight end out of Kent State. And a do-over for Leckler. Adam True, the snapper. Booming punt. Penalty marker down as Brightful allows it to roll into the end zone. 65 yards and a 45-yard net.
You know, Ed Reed is a guy who often comes up with a big punt block, and he's the guy that you have to focus on. And he needed to block this one. He told me, he said, I'd have more blocks if they weren't holding me. And I was watching on that one, and Zach Crockett was blocking Ed Reed that time, and I think he did hold him.
Penalty against Baltimore.
During the punt, holding by the receiving team, number 49. The play resulted in a touchback. Therefore, the foul is enforced from the 20-yard line to the 10. First down.
Chad Williams called on that penalty.
Yeah.
Speaks the truth.
He's a player.
He told you to look out for it, and he was on the money. Baltimore now pinned back. A 1st and 10 from their own 10. Movement on that line. No penalty as Lewis goes airborne and picks up 4 yards on the play. Benny Anderson, it was Lewis going over the back of Anderson to set up 2nd and 6. Well, you could follow the playoff race with our exclusive projected seeds brackets. Keep and Jones, 2 tight end formation on a 2nd and 6 for the Ravens. In motion, Taylor to the top of your screen. Give to Lewis. Still has not busted that big one, but he does enough on that run to pick up the first down. Harris was the first man to get his hands on him, and a 7-yard gain for Jamal Lewis.
And Harris should pay fair for riding on the back of Jamal Lewis. Watch the hit, and then watch him go for a ride. Look, an extra 5 yards after making contact with Napoleon Harris. So Jamal Lewis is showing he's a bull of a running back, able to drag tacklers along the way.
First and 10 for Baltimore. 4:35 remaining in the second quarter. Lewis gets the call. Churning those legs. And it's a 2-yard pickup. Chris Cooper.
As you would like in terms of 50-50. But you have to begin to hammer away at this Oakland defense who's shown that they're susceptible to the run.
Second to last in run defense in the NFL, allowing 149 yards per game on the ground. Wright takes his time and throws it out of bounds over Taylor's head with Phillip Buchanan in coverage.
With protection up front, but then he's going to have to execute and find the open guy.
Kyle Bowler missing another game because of that left quadricep injury, but he's on the road to recovery as the number 3 QB today. Wright, his replacement, throws, knocked up in the air, and off the ricochet. Travis Taylor with Anthony Dorsett, the safety, applying the coverage.
Well, they have the extra defensive backs in the game, safety position in that nickel defense.
Dave Zastudil, Joe Maese, the snapper. Zastudil gets it off. High punt, good field position for Oakland. Buchanan stumbles, tries to recover but cannot. And the Raiders will start this drive at the 40-yard line as Jerome touched him up. Now coming up, own 24, Oakland. They've had some excellent field position throughout the day.
And that's why they have a 10-6 lead so far in this game. Even though they haven't moved the ball much on offense, they've had good field position getting the ball at the 1-yard line.
Tyrone Wheatley. And Wheatley accelerated for a gain of 8.5. Adam True with a block up the middle. The center starting for the injured Robbins.
Oh, this is one of those things that the Raiders do best. They run the ball well behind their offensive line. Ray Lewis gets caught a little bit out of position trying to flow over the top, and Wheatley just cuts it back. But then Lewis is fast enough to get over there and just get a piece of Wheatley, get a piece of that tackle.
Wheatley 4 carries, 12 yards, setting up 2nd and 1. Play fake. Meyer in some trouble, and he'll throw it away. Ray Lewis applying the pressure. That's not necessarily a role that you see him in, getting into the grill of the quarterback. And Meyer told us in our meetings he's been watching Lewis for years. He's really never played against him. His speed has surprised him more than anything else.
Look at the closing speed there, right? Lewis on Rick Meyer, who doesn't want anyone to fall on that injured ankle. He did a good job, Meyer did, of getting out of the pocket. Once you get out of the pocket, you can just throw the ball away. Don't take the sack and don't throw the interception.
On a 3rd and 1. Big 4 as Langston Walker comes in. Spin move by Zach Crockett. And he's got enough for the first down. At least that's what it looked like by the naked eye. Kelly Gregg with the stop. And this is not going to be a favorable spot. He needed to get to the 50-yard line. And they are spotting it just short of the 50.
And it looked like his head was beyond the 50-yard line, but they're going to mark it where the ball touched down.
Tim Brown complaining over the spot as they extend the chains. Will it be enough? Oh boy.
Wow. By a link on the chain.
Well, you're Oakland. You have a 10-6 lead. You've taken advantage of field position. Now you've got a 4th and inches.
You have to go for this. He's going to throw the red flag maybe and ask for a better spot.
On the field of the forward progress spot.
They want to check out exactly where Zach Crockett was ruled down.
Well, take a look at this now. I know his head was beyond the 50-yard line. And you know, so was the ball. I mean, it's very difficult to tell because you're right in the middle of the field where they have that Raider logo. But by Zach Crockett. Now, when his elbow touches, he is considered down. And see, right there, he's down. And the 50-yard line would be about right here, but they're going to spot the ball there. See how he moves forward, though, after he makes contact with the ground? That's what gave the appearance that he was beyond the 50-yard mark.
After review,
really wasn't.
The runner's elbow comes down and hits the ground and the ball at the spot of the elbow hitting the ground is the spot that determines forward progress. The ruling on the field stands as called. It's 4th down. Oakland is charged with their first timeout.
So the Raiders lose a timeout. Jack Crockett still complaining, and now Bill Callahan still has a decision on his hands.
I think you should go for it, but it was a good explanation at Hockley, because see, boom, right there. That's the marker of the ball right there, and seeing the ball's right here, so there's the spot. It's a good spot. They're going to have a shot to go for it, and I think it's a good call by Callahan. He should have challenged it, and I think he should go for it here.
Fourth and a little more than an inch. Spilled out Crockett on fourth down. Ravens feel like they've stopped him. And again, the spot will determine everything.
That's right. It's all about the spot. But, you know, Jerry Porter told us, he said, you know, we have nothing to lose. We have to play the role of the spoiler. And so I think that's why you go for it. You have the ball at midfield. It's early in the game. You have the lead. You want to maintain that momentum. You have less than 1 yard, a chain link to pick up the first down, so you go for it.
Crockett, a short yardage specialist. He should have just envisioned himself at the goal line, and he would have definitely gotten it. He's a Mr. maker for the Oakland Raiders, but on a 4th and inches, did he get enough? They extend, and he did. By that much. On that collision for Baltimore. Bill Callahan's decision to go for it pays off with 2:20 left to go. First half. Play fake. Meyer, timing pass. Got his man, Jolly. And a first down inside the 25-yard line of the Ravens.
And Jolly's working against Cornell Brown. Very difficult for the linebacker to stay with a much faster Doug Jolly. We told you he had been open before. Watch him get on top of the defense and get in the middle. And see, it's an easy throw, and allow Jolly to adjust to it before the safety Ed Reed can come over the top.
2-minute warning. Second quarter at Oakland.
Who gets open, easy throw for Rick Meyer.
And that was the play earlier that Meyer could not make the connection to Jolly as he overthrew him. That time, a perfect toss to the reliable target. Give to Tyrone Weaver with under 2 minutes to go now. First half, 3-yard gain. Anthony Weaver, first man there for Baltimore, and the clock is moving.
And the Raiders are spreading out this defense. They're finding those mismatches that they want in terms of the passing game. You can get a linebacker on the tight end or someone on a faster receiver, that you have the matchup you want if you're the Oakland Raiders. And Callahan right now, they're pressing all the right buttons.
No hurry for the Oakland offense. They want to ensure going to the locker room with a lead. Toss to Jerry Porter. And what turned out to be a pass on what Meyer thought would be an out pattern. Porter wasn't there.
Porter, and so he was unsure of what to do.
And now a pivotal 3rd and 7. Rush is coming. Meyer steps up, throws, brought in by Rice. Touchdown, Oakland.
So the big plays are coming right over the middle of the defense. We told teams that have been successful have been able to throw over the middle of the field. Watch Rice go in between both safeties. Will Dimps, look right here, and see Dimps allows the receiver to get inside. And once you get inside, it's an easy throw for the quarterback, Rick Meyer. He gets in between Ed Reed and Will Dimps, the safeties.
Extra point, Janikowski. Oakland extends its lead before we hit the halftime break. Rick Meyer on target to Jerry Rice. 17-6. Of the season for Jerry Rice. He gives Oakland a 17-6 lead.
Yeah, this is just an easy throw over the middle. No one jams Rice at the line of scrimmage. You have to be able to disrupt the timing of this pass route. You allow him free reign into your secondary against that cover 2 look. He's able to split the safeties. Okay, see, there's one safety, there's 2. And then watch the easy release up the field. See, right in between the safeties is an easy throw for Rick. It's just too easy because you don't disrupt the timing of the route.
Chester Taylor, the return man after the kick from Janikowski. Taylor through a hole and across the 30-yard line. A 20-yard return. And some pushing and shoving following Ronald Curry. Jerry Rice. Is he talking to you, Solomon? I'm not sure.
Well, every time he makes a catch or touchdown, it's a new NFL record. That's how good he is.
And Rice allowing himself to smile. That has not happened to this Raider team this season. 205 touchdowns in his career, 194 through the air. Minute 15 to go for Anthony Wright and the Baltimore Ravens offense to operate. 1st and 10 from the 32. Wright, deep drop, flushed out. Wright throwing on the run and complete to Frank Sanders. Lorenzo Bromell among those Raider defenders, forcing Wright out of the pocket.
The Ravens going with their 2-minute offense, and I think you have shots down the field. They've yet to go outside to Marcus Robinson, who's matched up against Terrence Shaw, a guy who has been beaten in recent weeks.
3 receivers set after the 4-yard pickup. Flags down. And a false start with 42 seconds left for 4th quarter. And the timeout rewards you with the 10 seconds.
I like the decision because they still have a timeout left. So if they get into position to kick the field goal, and you can always get out of bounds and stop the clock.
2nd and 11. And Wright throwing to Todd Heap. He is spun down by Dorsett, and the clock is moving. He didn't get out of bounds.
Well, Heap should have been able to get out of bounds. I think he lost focus there for a moment. Could have easily stepped out.
Baltimore still has 1 timeout remaining. It's a 1st and 10, and they spike it with 21 seconds left in this 2nd quarter. 2nd and 10 upcoming for offense. They trail 17-6. Don't forget, next they'll have.
Of course, it's going to start with the protection up front. The Raiders have been blitzing Anthony Wright. That means you're going to get single coverage on the outside. You have to find a guy who can make a play.
Still need another 30 yards or so for a legitimate field goal try, and Wright looks for it and finds Todd Heap. And Heap is spilled out at the 32-yard line by Buchanan. 12 seconds remain.
And that's the play you needed. You come after my quarterback, I'm going to make a play. And Anthony Wright makes a tremendous throw down the field to Todd Heap. And that timeout they were saving, they're able to use it to stop the clock with 12 seconds.
Well, Anthony Wright get deeper, it becomes a bit more tenuous. Wright on a roll and a throw to the sideline, incomplete. Looking for Travis Taylor, and 3 seconds come off the clock with Brayton and Coleman applying pressure on Wright. 50-yard attempt. Zastudil to hold it. And now Oakland will use a timeout.
Wins, they would actually be the team in first place.
50-yard attempt from Matt Stover. He has made 21 straight from 50 yards away. Short. On line, but could not get it to the crossbar. And the Ravens time break. 4 seconds remain on the clock.
Matt showing the accuracy, but not the leg strength. And he's been good for a long time with this Baltimore Ravens team. He gets every bit of it, able to get it in, and falls just about maybe 2 yards short.
Stover's been hot. We talked about his streak, 21 in a row that was just snapped. They do have
the long kick return from Gabriel. Then they were able to punch it in. And I think the biggest surprise is Rick Myers made plays in the passing game against this Raiders defense. They're spreading them out, and they're able to hit the open guys. Jerry Rice scoring a touchdown against this secondary. So they're hitting the big plays, and they're able to sustain drives, and I think they're able to keep this Ravens offense off the football field.
Comparing the numbers to the last 3 games, just the point production, Baltimore was turning long drives into points the last 3 weeks, including a 31-13 win over Cincinnati last week. They are yet to force a turnover today, something that they have used as their bread and butter this season. Gabriel on the return after the Ritchie kick. There's Gabriel cutting it through the middle and stumbles forward to the 23-yard line. Jerome Sapp for Baltimore making the stop on staff. He was limited to 3 catches for 19 yards last week in a loss to Pittsburgh. Baltimore has outgained Oakland so far here today. Meyer on play action connects to O.J. Santiago, the tight end, and they pick up 7 yards on first down. Ray Lewis the stop.
Not until O.J. Santiago can make a significant 7-yard gain.
Oakland Raiders throwing the ball on the first play of the third quarter, setting up a 3. Late fake. Meyer. He's got some room in front of him. First down run for Meyer, who scoots out of bounds. And a new set of downs for Oakland to work with. 4-yard scramble for Rick Meyer.
And the key for the Raiders so far is they were able to protect Rick Meyer, not allowing, putting pressure on Rick Meyer, not allow him to become comfortable in the pocket as he's been able to spread it around to Tim Brown and Jerry Rice and Doug Jolly and O.J. Santiago.
Bill Callahan told us playing a 3-4 defense for the second straight week would work to their advantage. Meyer's pass broken up, and it was Cornell Brown that got a piece of it.
Well, had Brown not gotten a piece of this one, Ed Reed would have intercepted it because he's coming over the top. Rick Meyer cuts this one loose way too late, and you see there he is. There's Ed Reed coming over the top, and he was ready to make a play on that football, and I think he would have had the.
Cornell Brown has been playing. Terrell Suggs, the starter at the position, replacing Adalys Thomas, who is now out of action with a fractured bone in his right elbow. But Brown obviously more familiar with the position. Suggs still learning. Meyer throwing. He's got Tim Brown sliding out near midfield for a first down. Penalty marker throw. So the flag, the 13:34 mark.
Offense number 65. 10-yard penalty, repeat second down.
And that's Barry Sims on the left side of the Oakland line. Negated. And now a 2nd and 20 from the 24. Empty backfield, Oakland looking to throw it. And it's Meyer, tipped up in the air and incomplete. Gary Baxter had a chance for Baltimore defensively. It's 3rd and 20 for Oakland.
And the Raiders have, I should say, the Baltimore, their defense have made the halftime adjustments, playing a little bit better coverage, tighter coverage. Rick Meyer not finding as much room to throw the ball. Baxter making a play, but see Will Dimp saying, hey, I would have intercepted that one. So even when they're getting their hands on the ball, they're still in a position to make a play and possibly come away with the interception.
Alvis Whitted, the intended receiver. 3rd and 20. Draw play. Charlie Garner flagged down as Garner initiates some contact with Anthony Weaver, and a 4-yard gain for the smallish running back. Team suffering.
Offense number 73. The penalty is declined. Brings up 4th down.
Going to go a long way in helping their offense.
Shane Lechler having a tremendous afternoon, and Lechler did not get all of that one. A penalty marker down. Scooped up by Lamont Brightful as he carries it to midfield and coughs up the football.
Wow.
Recovers.
But there's going to be a flag back at the line of scrimmage where they punted the football.
O.J. Santiago on the recovery. And the Raiders averaging 9 penalties per game. Already called on 4 to.
Holding. Receiving team number 32. That penalty is declined. Oakland keeps the first down.
Other way, Ed. Oakland will take over with a first down at midfield.
He's coming in. That's a face mask there. Crockett trying to prevent Ed Reed from getting the block.
Well, wait a second. Did he mean 32 on the offense?
There may be some confusion here. Will have an opportunity to get the football.
And that's what Brian Billick is trying to articulate right now to the officiating crew.
After further discussion, there was no foul on the play. The result of this play is the same. Oakland's ball, first down.
Well, that's a different story.
Wow. So what are they saying? They picked up the flag?
Penalty marker was thrown back at the 30-yard line or so.
This is quite confusing because now watch Zach Crockett. Now watch the flag come in. See, there you go. And see the flag come in. So now they're saying they're picking up the flag that there was no penalty?
Oakland has the ball at midfield. No penalty on the play, so the fumble by Brightful stands, and the Raiders get it with a 1st and 10. Handoff to Crockett, and he picks up a couple on 1st down. Marcus Douglas in on the tackle. Now, Baltimore has benefited from turnovers over the last 3 weeks. Not the
in the secondary, where they appear to be in better position to make plays on the football.
Billick still trying to make his point with the officials. They called 32 for the wrong team. Handoff, Tyrone Wheatley. And Wheatley runs for a gain of 2, and Hartwell combining with Douglas to bring down the big running back. It'll be 3rd and 6 for Oakland. Now the Ravens still try to prove that they are among the elite teams in the AFC. With that record on the road, you can't be put in that category.
Well, they've enjoyed some good home cooking where they've been 6-1 at home. And look at the point production. They've been very anemic on the offensive side of the ball on the road.
3rd and 6 now for the Raiders. Myers steps up, knocked up in the air, and incomplete. Anthony Weaver got a piece of it and almost had the pick. And Brad Badger able to knock it away for Oakland to make sure there was no turnover.
Oh, defensively, they are beginning to step up and make plays for the Baltimore Ravens. Number 98, Anthony Weaver, he's able to get that hand up, that left hand, and he's even trying to make a play and intercept the ball.
Badger getting it out of there volleyball style as Leckler is back onto the field. High punt, and Brightful this time will fair catch it at the 16. Anthony Wright get the Ravens back into the end zone. Ravens defense took care of business on Oakland's first possession of the second half, an extended possession after the fumble on special teams. And the black hole trying to get inside the head of Anthony Wright. A 1st and 10 from the 16. Handoff. Jamal Lewis spinning his way out across the 20-yard line, and he picks up 6 yards on 1st down. Offensive leaders from the first half for Baltimore.
Pound the running game here early in the second half and try to get some momentum running the football.
2nd and 4. Again, it's Lewis, and carrying the pile to the 25-yard line. Romel and Barton collaborate to bring him down. That's a 3-yard gain, and it is short of a 1st down.
Well, I think it's important for Baltimore to stick with the running game before time becomes critical. You start running out of time, now you're forced to throw the football to get back into this ball game. Here early in the second half, allow Jamal Lewis and that really big offensive line to get you back in it. You eat time off the clock, but you're able to wear down this defense also.
Well, we know this Baltimore team can come from behind. The Seattle victory certainly proved that 3 weeks ago. Flag down. Some wrestling after the play.
Ball was snapped, ball start, offense number 66. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
It's very manageable, but now you're forced to maybe have to throw the football in order to pick up this 1st down.
And it's Chester Taylor in the backfield. Crowd getting charged up. 3rd and 6 for Baltimore. Wright is sacked. Back at the 10. Ball squirts loose. And Edwin Mulitalo able to recover it for the Ravens. Rod Coleman cutting through for the sack.
So you're forced into an obvious passing situation, so they blitz Anthony Wright. Coleman slashes underneath, and look, neither he or Wright is able to come up with the and they kick it over to Edwin Mulitalo. So this defense from Oakland so far this year, look, 19 sacks, 4th fewest in the National Football League, but when you force a team in an obvious passing situation, it makes it easier to come away with pressure on the quarterback.
Zastadil, a punt, and a crowd of players in the area. Looked like it touched a Raider initially. That would have been a free football for Baltimore, but Phillip Buchanan heads up the return man to jump with it. Oakland right now with a 17-6 lead. And nice day so far if you're a Raider fan. 17-6, Oakland at 3-10, trying to shock the 8-5 Ravens. Meyer. Side-on throw to Tyrone Wheatley. And he brings it back to the line of scrimmage, no gain. Gary Baxter cutting him down low for the stop.
And the Ravens were also able to get pressure on Rick Meyer, getting a push in the pocket. He was forced to dump that ball off to Wheatley, and then they were in position to make. But Meyer initially wanted to go downfield with the pass and forced to dump it off. Good coverage on the back end and good pressure on the front end.
Well, it's been the Baltimore offense the last 3 weeks that has stepped it up. Now the Baltimore defense trying to put some more pressure on Rick Meyer. Long throw, single coverage, and nobody home. Jerry Rice with Chris McAllister. Again, McAllister doing an outstanding job. He's done it against the likes,
but not when they face the likes of Chris McAllister.
3rd and 10. Meyer sets up the screen for Garner. Unable to create after the catch. He gets dumped by Baxter, a 2-yard gain. And my point being, this Baltimore defense, they've gotten some help from the offense in recent weeks. Maybe it's their turn now to step forward and get it done.
It is their turn, and their offense usually plays well when the defense makes turnovers. 12 turnovers in the last 3 ball games, and so that's one of the reasons why they've been able to score so many points. But what a play there by Gary Baxter, the other cornerback in that secondary. He's a good player in his own right.
Shane Leckler punting to Lamont. Wobbly punt, and Brightful will haul it in at the 15-yard line. 32-yard punt. Bill Callahan's club still enjoying an 11-point lead.
So he's a threat to do it just about every single time that they punt the football.
1st and 10, ball spotted just short of the 16-yard line. Ravens in a 17-6 hole. Fake the handoff. Wright wants to throw it. Wright in trouble and thrown down. Derek Gibson, the strong safety.
What a play by Gibson. He was blocked on this play, and he just goes up and over. Look at this play. He'll just jump right over Alan Ricard, the fullback, who's trying to block him. And he's doing a heck of a job. We saw him make plays in coverage. We've seen him as a blitzer coming up from that safety position. He's been able to make some plays.
Very quick, tremendous potential. It's a loss of 7. 2nd and 17 for this Baltimore offense. Jamal Lewis. And Lewis breaking tackles across the 20-yard line. And he quiets the crowd with a 13-yard burst.
Well, they are quiet because he nearly stepped out of 2 would-be tacklers. And had he been able to maintain his balance, watch the contact here. See, had he been able to maintain balance after making contact with Anthony Dorsett and Charles Woodson, he would have run it for a long way to pick up a touchdown.
Quiet by Lewis's standards. Now a 3rd and 4 for Baltimore. Chester Taylor in the backfield. 3 receivers set out of the gun. Wright steps up and throws. Incomplete. Frank Sanders, the intended receiver. Marcus Robinson has been a non-factor offensively here today. He's been the hot receiver for
Charles
Baltimore.
Woodson is the blitzing corner. Watch him get into the face of Anthony Wright. But this ball goes right off the hands of Sanders. He should make this catch. Yeah, it goes behind him because there's a blitzer in the face of the corner. But when it hits you in the hands, you got to be able to haul it in. Strong hands make the catch.
Dave Zastudil the punt. Philip Buchanan. And again, Oakland, good field position. This is returnable for Buchanan. Circling. Cutting to the outside. Flag down, and Buchanan is down out near the sideline at the 47. 40-yard punt, 9-yard return. 2 penalty markers on the play as Oakland is trying to create some extra space for Buchanan to work through. Ed Hockley.
During the return, holding by the receiving team, number 87. 10-yard penalty. Oakland keeps the ball. 1st down.
In their recent possessions that they have that lead. The damage done in the first half, but Baltimore has done very little on the offensive end. Tyrone Wheatley, and he is driven into the ground after a pickup of 2 by Kelly.
Well, you get the sense that the Raiders are really one big play away from really knocking the Ravens out of the game, but they are not able to do it. Their last 3 possessions, very anemic. 3 and out on 2 of those possessions, and then only 5 plays and then a punt from the Raiders. So they need a spark. They need a play, a big play from their offense.
2nd and 8 now for Oakland. Brown in motion on the draw. Charlie Garner. And Garner able to pick up some good yardage.
To step up and make a play on the offensive side of the Raiders. If they can do it, will go a long way in helping them to put the Ravens out of the ball game.
4 receivers set. It's Garner. And driven back. No first down for Oakland. Corey Fuller made sure of it. For Baltimore defensively, a gain of 1, and Ray Lewis a little chatter following the stop.
Well, the Ravens defense has really stepped it up in the second half.
Mont Brightful, the big difference, no turnovers forced by this Baltimore defense. Leckler can't handle it, looking to throw, and does, makes the connection to Chris Hetherington. Flag down. Penalty marker on the far side of the field. Leckler on a busted play because of the snap.
Yeah, but there were too many guys down the field for the Raiders on a pass play. And so it's going to come back.
Ineligible receiver downfield by the passing team, number 62. 5-yard repeat, 4th down.
For Oakland. Actually turns into just a penalty and a redo for Shane Leckler. Ed Reed has come very close here today. He'll pin his ears back once again against Leckler. Plenty of room. And Leckler, big punt. Brightful returning from the 23. Brightful trying to cut to the outside. A block there. Brightful turns it upfield. Lamont Brightful into Oakland territory. And Ronald Curry forced him out of bounds. A 28-yard return. Good block by Bart Scott up the field on special teams to give Baltimore excellent field position.
Well, Shane Leckler
helped give its offense its best field position of the day at the 49-yard line of Oakland. On the toss, Lewis turns it upfield. Jamal Lewis. And he's brought down just short of the 40-yard line. He picks up 9 yards. Alan Ricard and Edwin Mulitalo with blocks.
Well, the Ravens are starting to get it going, running the football. Coming right at you, pulling the big tackle, Jonathan Ogden. Edwin Mulitalo, he's able to get out in front, creating some running room for Jamal Lewis, and he's starting to crank it up and get it going.
2nd and 1. Lewis now 84 yards on 20 carries. We talked about he needs to average 126 in his last 2,000-yard season. Baltimore's got bigger issues right now, and Lewis is trying to change it. Here's Lewis. Little cutback move towards the sideline, and Jamal Lewis. Excellent job of patience. 25 yards for Lewis. He's just cracked over 100 yards on the day.
Well, we told you they're starting to get it going. Stay committed to the running game. Just slam this Raider defensive front, and you can't tackle him high. Don't try to wrap him up top, because he'll just step out of it, and he's still going. He's warming it up. He's seeking 2,000 yards rushing this season, and he can smell it.
21 for 109 for Lewis. Under 3 minutes to go in the 3rd. Fake the toss. Inside handoff. Ricard trying to catch Oakland napping. They do not. Napoleon Harris was ready. A 2-yard gain.
To stick with the running game. Many teams tend to go away from it at this point in the game. You get in the second half and they get away from it, but that's what Baltimore do best. They run the football.
Double tight end set on a 2nd and 8. Right, throwing. By Heap. Touchdown, Ravens.
No, they come with the play action. When you run the football, you can run that play action. And they're able to get Todd Heap open in the back of the end zone. You see it right here. Look at them. They're able to get Heap behind the linebackers who are expecting a run play. And there he is right in the middle. It's an easy throw in between the safeties. Good protection up front. But Heap can stretch the field. He beats Gibson on the play.
And they will go for 2. This has been Heap's territory. The team is 5 in 2-point conversions this season. And they love going up high to Heap. He's got all 4 2-point conversions for the Ravens this year. Trying to make it a 3-point game after the touchdown to Heap. 2-point conversion try. Right. They'll go on the ground, pushing the pile. Chester Taylor. Did the Raiders stop it? Jonathan Ogden wants to call. Denied. Oakland holds Baltimore on the two-point try.
So it's the Raiders defense who slammed the door shut on Brian Billick and the Baltimore Ravens as they look to go for two. Well, both teams are battling for Brian Billick.
Chester Taylor lunging and trying to break the plane with a football, but we've got to be able to tell if he was down or not. You see the pile of players, and Taylor.
Baltimore is challenging the ruling on the field that the stop short of the goal line.
Now you see, you can't tell. He's not down on one knee. He was actually laying on top of other players.
Tyler.
After reviewing the play, although the ball crossed the goal line, it's not possible to tell whether a knee was on the ground before it crossed the goal line. Therefore, the ruling on the field stands as called. The attempt fails.
Wow. I think you and I were able to tell.
I'm with you. I'll co-sign it. I thought Chester Taylor did not go down.
I think we could clearly tell that he was not down. If you look at the angles we've given you here, you could tell that he was not down. Okay, he stretches the ball out, and you could see that his hips and everything are off the ground.
You know, that was the tough one to tell. But the last, so Baltimore kicks it off, trailing 17-12 with Doug Gabriel returning it from the 4. Gabriel trying to bounce off a tackler, and he is brought down at the 23-yard line. Harold Morrow getting him from behind for Baltimore. Coming up tonight here on CBS, it begins with offensively. They have done next to nothing in this second half. Baltimore just beginning to pick it up on the offensive end. Swing pass, Charlie Garner. And Garner is forced out of bounds. Fans wanted a late hit as Garner was towards the sideline. It's a 6-yard pickup.
So Oakland comes out looking to pick up the pace on offense as they get Charlie Garner involved, and we know he can make people miss as Gary Baxter fell down. And look, he's trying to get out of bounds as McAllister wasn't quite able to hold up.
2nd and 4, no penalty on the play. And the reaction from this crowd, they just saw the replay on the big screen here at Network Associate Coliseum. Meyer, too high. Porter. Corey Fuller, the veteran, with coverage on Porter. 3rd and 4. And a lot of 3 and outs for Oakland, not even using up clock, trying to nurse their lead. 3 for 12 on 3rd down conversions. That's what they face now. Meyer. Incomplete. Baxter was not turned around to the football. Penalty marker thrown as Baxter was matched up with Tim Brown. The penalty is back at the line of scrimmage.
Wow.
And now penalties go flying down.
Yeah, Chris McAllister had words with the official where he didn't believe Baxter had interfered with the receiver's opportunity to catch the football, and they throw more flags on McAllister.
2 markers came down after the confrontation. Well, we're reading lips here, but it's holding defense and unsportsmanlike conduct against the defense.
There were 2 fouls by the defense on the play, both by number 21. Holding, that penalty is enforced 5 yards and an automatic first down. There was also unsportsmanlike conduct, number 21. That penalty is also enforced. The foul against an official. That's a 15-yard additional penalty, first down.
So they're saying that McAllister was holding, and the flag wasn't thrown on Gary Baxter. See, against Jerry Rice, they're saying that's holding. I see why he was upset, because there's no way that he was holding Jerry Rice. That's a complete jam of the wide receiver at the line of scrimmage, something McAllister has been doing over recent weeks, where he's been very effective defending the pass and covering receivers like Terrell Owens and Chad Williams. But he has to keep his head, not lose his cool, and get the unsportsmanlike conduct.
And it costs Baltimore a total of 20 yards on the 2 penalties against McAllister. The only way Oakland is generating offense right now is after a Baltimore penalty. 1st and 10 on their own 49. Wheatley in the backfield. Rice in motion for Oakland. And off is Wheatley. And give him a yard to midfield. Let's get an update. NFL Today in New York was at 8-5, trying to keep pace in the wild card race. Obviously, Kansas City has run away with things. AFC West title. Meyer, sidearm delivery, ruled incomplete. Boulware with coverage on Charlie Garner. And the defense is getting pumped up for Baltimore.
Let's read the eyes of Rick Meyer. Is he looking at the receiver the whole time? Well, so is the defense. And that's why they arrive on time to make a play. Peter Boulware did not make contact before the ball arrived to Charlie Garner. But by reading the eyes of the quarterback, it tips you off where he wants to go with the football.
Who would have thought, final month of the year, Rick Meyer is the starting quarterback for the Oakland Raiders, and Rich Gannon is forced to watch from the sideline. Meyer in trouble. Ravens don't have a sack today. Flag down, and Meyer running for it. Coming close to the marker as Boulware applied that heat, but he does not get the first down. A 7-yard gain off the scramble, but a penalty marker thrown back at the line of scrimmage, and it's working against Oakland.
Offense number 72, 10-yard penalty, repeat 3rd down.
The hiring after the Super Bowl last year didn't want to go out with the loss as his final game.
Little did he know that it would get even more sour following the Super Bowl. That was the start of a negative roller coaster ride for Oakland. Meyer out of the pocket, slides down. And on 3rd and a mile, Meyer could only muster a 2-yard gain. Oakland will punt as circles away at the end of the 3rd.
Yeah, it's just a coverage sack. Good coverage by the secondary. They're starting to play tight coverage. Chris McAllister, Gary Baxter, Will Dent. They're playing very well in the back end of this defense right now. Rick Meyer has nowhere to go with the football.
End of the 3rd quarter. Oakland with a 17-12 lead on Baltimore. We'll have the 4th quarter from Network Associates Coliseum after this on CBS. Trail Oakland 17-12. Raiders doing some work on their wide receivers. Jerry Porter, Tim Brown just moments ago went to the locker room for Oakland as we start play in the 4th. Iron Eagle, Solomon Wilcots, our CBS crew. Ravens trying to maintain a 1-game lead over Cincinnati in the AFC North. Ed Reed still trying to block a Shane Leckler punt. He's had a couple of cracks here today. And Leckler gets this one off cleanly. Lamont Brightful moves forward. Can't handle it. And Brightful covers up at the 22. He may have given Leckler too much respect because he had to come all the way forward when Leckler didn't get all of it.
Oh, Brightful almost handed the ball back over to the Raiders. Find guys wide open in the end zone, but it all starts with their running game and Jamal Lewis.
Just underway here in the 4th. Ravens averaging 5 yards a carry today. Lewis over 100 yards yet again. Here's Lewis leaping in the air. Lewis remains on his feet. And he is spilled out for an 11-yard gain, a first down. Anthony Dorsett the stop.
And even though we're in the 4th quarter and they trail in this ball game, they continue to ride the running game with Jamal Lewis. He's starting to get it going. So is that offensive line. They're getting the movement up front that they had hoped to get early in this ball game, but better late than never, because right now they're getting it going.
Lewis's 10th 100-yard game this season. More of Lewis. Jamal Lewis carrying Raiders with him. He's not going down. Again, Dorsett is just grabbing for dear life. It's a 4-yard gain.
And the Raiders are getting just about 8 or 9 players at the line of scrimmage in hopes to shutting down this running game for the Baltimore Ravens. However, they're not to do it. Look at how many guys they got at the line of scrimmage. You have penetration, but yet he's able to bounce it to the outside, and you see the first contact by Coleman. He's not able to get the grab, and then he's just dragging everyone else. Dorsett is saying, hey, at least go out of bounds for me if you won't go down.
2nd and 6. Lewis, the numbers are climbing. Had 180 yards last week and 3 touchdowns. And this time, no room to work with. A 1-yard gain. 3rd and 5. Lewis remains on the field. First possession of the 4th quarter. Baltimore trailing 17-12. 3 receivers set for Anthony Wright to work with. Wright slings it. Up in the air. Oh! Todd Heap with the concentration to bring it in. And a first down for Baltimore. Anthony Dorsett got a piece.
And Ian, they had single coverage on the outside. Instead, they go over the middle of the field. Got help on Todd Heap. I mean, there was 3 Raiders in the area. Now watch Todd Heap. He'll come out. He's working on the left side of your screen, going over the middle of the football field. You'll see 3 Raiders in coverage over the middle, and they almost get the ball with Dorsett. And Gibson's holding on to the arm of Heap, who's still able to come away with the football. Look, he's holding and grabbing him, and Heap's still strong enough to haul in that football.
Tremendous catch by Heap. Flags down, and this play is whistled dead.
Before the ball was snapped, ball stopped. It's number 66. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Ability from Todd Heap.
What an exceptional talent. 5 catches, 89 yards, and he has the touchdown for Baltimore. Taylor in the game on a 1st and 15. Right, guns it. Finds the open man, Frank Sanders. Sanders has been a forgotten man in this offense with the emergence of Marcus Robinson. But with Woodson and Harris on him, Sanders catches it for 9.
You know, the Raiders have had coverage, but there have been very small windows for Wright to throw the football. And when the guys are there, they're getting the hits. Let's listen.
The pounding of pads as Sanders bounced around the 2 defenders.
That'll send you to the chiropractor on Monday.
Make an early appointment. 2nd and 6. 11 minutes to go in the 4th. Ravens are moving the football. And a loose football. Wright was unable to get it to Lewis, and Oakland recovers with Tyler Brayton. Derek Gibson disrupted the play.
Oh, Napoleon Harris, 58. He was the guy that knifed in, and he was the blitzing linebacker coming up the middle and able to get the hit on Anthony Wright before he could hand the ball off to Jamal Lewis. Excellent play on defense for the Raiders.
Napoleon Harris jumped the gun, creates the turnover. And the Ravens turn it over for the 3rd time today. Oakland takes over a 1st and 10 at their own 32. Recovery by the rookie Brayton. And off to Garner. Bouncing off a tackle, and Garner able to pick up 4 on 1st down. Time to get another update. NFL Today. Jim Nantz back in New York. Now that's a game that certainly affects the playoff picture. Wild card, and could affect Cincinnati or Baltimore depending upon how things sort out over the next 3 weeks. Here's Garner again with a head of steam, and he is dumped by Hartwell and Gregg. Gain of 2.
The Raiders are trying to come back with their very own running game featuring Charlie Garner running on 2 consecutive plays to set up a really big 3rd and 4th play here. Yeah, I think, you know, it's one of those manageable situations that Rick Meyer talked about. You get medium 3rd and short. You look to hit Jerry Rice or Porter on a crossing route and pick up the 1st down.
3rd down, 4 yards for an Oakland 1st down. Meyer. Wide open, Charlie Garner, and huge yardage. A one-handed catch by Garner to stab it and turn it into a 24-yard gain.
And they're able to catch the Raiders slipping. Now this Whittick comes over in motion. They make you think they're going to run everything else over to the side. And guess what? They slip Garner out of the backfield. Someone dropped coverage here because they were in man coverage. And someone took their eye off Charlie Garner and forgot to take him coming out of the backfield. He was wide open. And the ball wasn't placed on the money by Rick Meyer. In fact, Garner had to make a one-hand grab to haul it in.
Pivotal 1st down. Give is to Tyrone Wheatley through a hole. And Wheatley drives forward to the 20-yard line. 16-yard rip by under 9 minutes to go in the 4th.
And the big pass play to Garner on 3rd and 4 it breaks the back of the Baltimore Ravens because they're not prepared now to stop Tyrone Wheatley coming out of the backfield running the football. This is not the same defense we've seen so far here in the second half, who had been very alert and very aggressive. They allow the big third and fourth play to get out the gate, and now they lose their focus and concentration.
Line of scrimmage short of the 21, a 3 tight end formation, and Wheatley is stuffed behind the line of scrimmage. Kelly Gregg involved with Terrell Suggs.
To this game with 10 sacks and has not been able to get to the quarterback yet.
In fact, Baltimore has registered no sacks today. 2nd and 12. Meyer has the time. Pump fake. And Meyer finds Tyrone Wheatley, who tiptoes out of bounds. Meyer is getting it done. The numbers are not impressive, but he's doing enough offensively right now.
Well, it was good protection by Rick Meyer, the quarterback. The offensive line gives him time to find someone up the football field. And look at Rice. He's wide open over the middle of the field. He had time to find him. Sometimes as a quarterback, you predetermine where you want to go with the football.
Another first down for Oakland, just outside the 10-yard line. See what they've done in the red zone today. This is a 1st and 10. And Wheatley picks up a couple. And using more clock, which is now an end of the Baltimore Ravens following that turnover deep in Oakland territory. Kelly Gregg, another stop for Baltimore.
Now, if you're the Baltimore Ravens defensively, you have to hunker down right now. Yeah, you have given up some big plays on this drive. You have on this drive, I should say, and you've allowed the Raiders to move the ball down the field, but you don't want to let them in the end zone.
2nd and 8 for Oakland. In motion, Tim Brown. He's returned. Pump fake. Meyer, back keeper, goes down inside the 5. A 4-yard gain for Meyer.
How about Mark Trestman, the offensive coordinator from the Raiders, designing some really nice plays to help Rick Meyer do what he does best. He's a guy that can run. He does have some mobility. They pull the entire line over, making you think they're going to run that screen play over to the right side. And you know what? The defenders for Baltimore followed him over there, leaving a gaping hole for Meyer to run up the football.
Oakland can still get a first down, facing a 3rd and 4. Meyer on the rollout. Deep drop. Meyer throwing out of the end zone, incomplete. It's 4th down for Oakland. And a short field goal coming up for Sebastian Janikowski.
You know, they roll out. They get Meyer out of the pocket. Here comes Ray Lewis looking to get a hit on the quarterback. And that's why Rick Meyer is forced to throw that ball out of bounds.
And that's where the 2-point try from Billick now comes into. Look at the differential if Janikowski converts. You're staring at 8 points instead of 7. 23-yard attempt. Janikowski automatic for Oakland. So the Raiders now lead it 20-12. 5:58 left to play. 3-10 season. But all 3 of their victories have come here at home at Network Associates Coliseum. Wins over Cincinnati, San Diego, and Minnesota. 0-7 on the road. And right now in the driver's seat with a 20-12 lead after the 10-play 63-yard drive. And probably most importantly, Solomon, it took up 4:53 off the clock. Janikowski on the bounce. And Breitful watches it veer towards the sideline, out of bounds. So that is costly.
Kickoff illegally out of bounds. The ball was placed at the 40-yard line. Baltimore ball, first down.
Ravens good field position to start the drive, but they trailed by 8. And Wilcots are scored 20-12. Oakland in front. 60 minutes will be seen in its entirety immediately following this game, except on the West Coast. Wright throwing to Todd Heap, who's brought down by Anthony Dorsett. A 4-yard gain with the Ravens down by 8.
Well, I think the Ravens can still afford to give the ball to Jamal Lewis, and they're the best in the National League at scoring in the 4th quarter, where they lead that category. 124 4th quarter points. So starts with Jamal Lewis. Still enough time to crank up the running game because last possession, they were able to go right down the field running the football.
126 points in the fourth quarter, tops the NFL. And Travis Taylor is ruled incomplete. Coleman and Cooper applying that pressure on Anthony Wright. And it's 3rd and 6 for.
And it was the pressure that caused the errant pass from Wright. He had to force it and couldn't get it to Taylor where he could catch it and run with it. So he's trying to make the catch, but he's not able to keep his footing, be able to turn and run.
This result critical in the dynamic of the AFC North. The complexion of the playoff picture changes depending upon this outcome. Right to throw. Sliding attempt by Taylor. Incomplete.
The ball appeared to hit Taylor right in the hands, but he slipped, and we told you the footing was a little loose down there on the field as it rained last night. But watch the throw over to Taylor's working on the outside against Buchanan. Here's the ball. See, right in the hands. All right, really upset. And Wright could have actually ran the ball because there was no one over to the right side of the field. He had pretty good protection from his offensive line.
Dave Zastudil, the punt. High sailing punt over the head of Buchanan and takes the wrong bounce for Baltimore. Comes out to the 20 for Oakland. Raiders looking to control the clock and potentially put this game away. Raiders leading the Ravens. 5:02 left to go in the fourth. Wheatley is in the backfield. A 1st and 10 for Oakland. Jerry Porter, the motion man. He'll run it to Wheatley, spin move. And he gets to the line of scrimmage. Ed Hartwell making the stop for Baltimore. Well, for the Raiders, so much promise coming into the season. But it's turned disastrous. 3-10, the fewest wins by a team that went to the Super Bowl the following year. Raiders have to find a way to get wins if they want to avoid going into the record books.
Well, 11 players on injured reserve. Not only did they lose a lot of talent, but according to Bill Callahan, they lost a lot of leadership also.
2nd and 10. Coming up on 4 minutes to go. Shift in the backfield from Crockett. A lot of movement. They didn't get this play off. Clock went down.
Game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
Well, it stops the clock.
Goal line. Chester Taylor. 20-12. Oakland in front. 4:16 to play. 2nd and 15 for the Raiders. Off the bootleg. Meyer looking to. Incomplete. In the direction of Jerry Porter. With Ed Hartwell getting some pressure on Meyer.
Another pass play, and it stops the clock with 3:15. The incompletion and not running the ball. You have to question that call. Now, do you throw here on 3rd and 15? I say you go with a draw play, at least try to, choose some time off the clock by running the football. You throw it, and then there's an incompletion. Well, it stops the works in favor of the Baltimore Ravens.
4:10 left to go. And the Raiders have not done what they were hoping to do on this drive until that play. The quick toss to Jerry Rice. And a crucial 1st down for Oakland.
Well, Mark Trestman proves me wrong. He says, we'll throw it. And they hit this slant route in perfect timing. Right in front of Corey Fuller, who gets beat by Jerry Rice. And that was a big play for the Raiders because they keep the clock going. They pick up the 1st down. They get more snaps, and they're going to just chew up more time off the clock.
17 yards through the air. And they can use up about 2 more minutes off the clock. Emerging through a hole, it's Garner. And a solid gainer on 1st down. Good block by Crockett as we head to New York. NFL Today update, Jim Nance.
All right, guys, how about this? The Browns have taken the lead with a little more than a minute to play. Brett delivers it right down the center from 48 yards, 20-17. They need Plummer to do an Elway-like comeback here in the late stages. Back to you.
Now, Jim, I'm sure Cleveland felt the same way as Jerry Porter of the Oakland Raiders, who said, our goal now is to keep other guys from getting a playoff check.
Play the spoiler.
And that's what the Raiders are trying to do today against Baltimore. Baltimore will face Cleveland next week. Give to Wheatley. And Wheatley struggling to gain extra yardage. He picks up 3 as he crosses the 40. And more clock is being used. 2:37 and counting remaining in the fourth. Reed and Lewis combined to bring down Wheatley.
Well, it all started with the turnovers on that first possession for the Baltimore Ravens. Philip Buchanan gets the interception, takes it down to the 1-yard line, gets the Raiders on the board early, and once they were able to jump out to the early lead, they've been able to dictate the tempo of this game to the Baltimore Ravens. And from there, they held on to the lead, and they've done a good job of holding on to it and making plays on both sides of the ball.
Formation, Zach Crockett. Second effort, he needed a yard and he didn't get it. Ray Lewis involved in the stop for Baltimore. And a big stand for this Ravens defense with 2:02 remaining in the fourth.
Now here's Ray Lewis from his look at it. Watch him get in there. Look at the defense. Look at the hit in the backfield on the other side of the line of scrimmage by Ray Lewis and company. They're swarming to the football, and I think they're going to be able to stop Zach Crockett from picking up this first down.
They will come out for a measurement. Baltimore does have 2 timeouts remaining. They've got the 2-minute warning as well. 2 seconds away from that, and yeah, they are clearly short by about 3/4 of a yard. So they will roll the clock and take us to the 2-minute warning. Oakland faces a 4th and less than a yard. Raiders 20, Ravens 12. We have seen Baltimore rally before. That Seattle game stands out as one of the stranger, wackier comebacks you will ever see. And will Anthony Wright be able to strike again?
Well, he'll get another chance.
Oakland's going to punt when we come 20-12. Raiders. 2 minutes to go from the Bay Area. Ravens down by 8, 2 minutes to play. Ian Eagle and Solomon Wilcots, the unpredictable nature of the NFL week after week. We talked about Baltimore's offense. They've been tremendous the last 3 weeks. Brian Billick needs it now.
Well, they came in red hot, but, you know, turnovers are the great equalizer. They turned the ball over 3 times in this game, and that's why they find themselves trailing by 8 points.
Big punt, but a flag thrown back at the 32-yard line.
Personal foul, face mask by the kicking team, number 32. It's a 15-yard penalty enforced from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Well, it's on Zach Crockett, and he's trying to block Ed Reed. We said that he held him earlier in the game, and look, he just grabs the face mask and takes him to the ground, and he'll get the penalty. But Zach Crockett saying, hey, it's better than letting you block the punt.
Again, Ed Hockley got confused and just gave Oakland a first down, which obviously is not going to happen. And Crockett got caught. 11-yard line.
And watch Ed Reed, because he's coming again.
It's Brightful waiting for it. Towards the sideline. Brightful, returnable from the 20. Makes a move and cannot get out of the grasp. Sharon Pearson, a backup linebacker, after the 54-yard punt by Leck. Time for another NFL Today update to New York and Jim Nance. The snake, some heroics in the fourth. Can Anthony Wright do the same as Denver is trying to improve to 9-5? Baltimore is in the same scenario. 1st and 10. Wright steps up and throws. Incomplete. Frank Sanders the target. And a miscommunication between QB and receiver.
You're right. It's expecting Sanders to break that pass off that route inside where he threw the pass. It's just the receivers not being on the same page with the quarterback.
Matt Cavanaugh, offensive coordinator, now facing a 2nd and 10. Don't forget, 60 minutes is coming up after our coverage here, except on the West Coast. Chester Taylor in the backfield, a 3-receiver set. On 2nd down, Wright steps up And Wright is thrown down. A sack for this Oakland defense. Ron Coleman getting a hold of Wright down low.
Coleman provided the pressure, getting at the feet of Anthony Wright, providing the pressure and the distraction. Watch him coming right up the middle, 57, working against Benny Anderson. And look, he's got a lock on that ankle like a pit bull. Not letting go.
And Baltimore is forced to use one of its 2 remaining timeouts with 1:20 left. Defensive coordinator Chuck Bresnahan. They have not had many moments like this defensively this year. 3 sacks for a team that came in with only 18 on the season.
Well, you've heard the term any given Sunday. The Raiders are proving it today.
A 3rd and 18 for Baltimore upcoming.
Well, they've
3rd and 8, minute 25 to go. Baltimore trailing 20-12. Wright, deep drop. Wright airing it out into double coverage. Marcus Robinson juggled and broke it up. Buchanan and Dorsett there, and Buchanan still on the ground. He'll be helped up. That combination worked against Seattle. Right to Robinson, not today.
Well, they've got double coverage because they're bringing Anthony Dorsett over the top of Buchanan, working in coverage. Robinson, but look at Robinson. Gets a hand on the ball and nearly comes away with it. It takes 2 defenders to keep Robinson from hauling this ball in, so don't be surprised if they don't go back to him.
And here's your ball game. 4th and 18. Does Anthony Wright have anything left in his bag of tricks? Play clock hits 0.
Wow.
And they'll dig themselves a deeper hole.
Delay of game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. It's still 4th down.
And it's been that kind of day for Baltimore. Just out of sorts. Not the team we've seen over the last 3 weeks.
And they had opportunities early, and now they've run out of it because it comes down to this final play. And the Raiders are going to only rush 3 linemen, and they're going to provide coverage with 8 players in the secondary. Almost an impossible situation on 4th and 23.
On 4th down, trailing by 8. Wright steps up. Wright throws and broken up. There will be no late game heroics for Anthony Wright and the Baltimore Ravens today. Terrence Shaw making the play defensively. And a costly loss for the Ravens, coming to the West Coast and falling short in Oakland.
Well, this is a team that has tremendous pride. They've struggled as of late. And Wright has a clear look. He has time to throw the ball, but when you have 8 players in coverage, it's not going to be many places to throw the ball. As Terrence Shaw makes a break on this pass. Look, it's intended for Travis Taylor, and it's nearly intercepted.
Brian Billick kept his team on East Coast time, just like he did earlier this season when they played San Diego, hoping that the same formula would work again. Early wake-ups yesterday, 5:30 in the morning, 6:30 in the morning. And if you give Baltimore the loss, Cincinnati now leads the division based on their record in the AFC North.
Yeah, they have the tiebreaker. They've won more division games. Of course, next week Cincinnati goes to St. Louis and play the Rams. So it's not over. And both teams are going to have to continue to play. We know this. One will get in and one will not.
Baltimore still has Cleveland on the schedule next. A divisional game that will be so important. And that's it for Brian Billick and company. Ravens fall to 8-6 on the year. Oakland improves to 4-10. The former Raven Rod Woodson on the injured list. Jamal Lewis 125 yards on the ground, but not enough offense for Baltimore overall. Turnovers, usually something that works to the advantage of the Ravens. It worked against them here today. 20-12 is your final. Oakland over Baltimore. Don't forget tonight on CBS, 60 Minutes, followed by the Survivor season finale and live reunion show. For Solomon Wilcots, this is Ian Eagle. So long from Network Associates Coliseum. Oakland has pulled off the upset over Baltimore. This is the NFL on CBS.